This is WFO Radio.
Hey, everybody, WFO Radio back on the air. One of our favorite times of the year, the start of a season, but a chance to look back and reflect with our Lucas Oil Series champions from 2024, the WFO Radio Parade of Champions. Like, if you search that, I'm pretty confident you're going to get a lot of great race car drivers talking about great seasons that are archived forever, whether on YouTube or our podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. Super excited because today, we're talking about top dragster, Right Trailers top dragster. Cody Webber is our guest, a first-time champion, and I'm super excited to speak with him. He joins us now. Cody, welcome to WFO Radio. Congratulations, champ. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
I'm great. I'm great. Something that I didn't know is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but prior to this season, which was your championship season, you hadn't won a national event. Like, this was the year that it all broke out. Is that true?
Yep, I hadn't won a national or divisional in the big cars. So,
wow. But you had a great career in junior dragster racing. You won the Western Conference Finals, and you're like a junior kid who made it to the big cars and are now a world champion. What a great story.
Yeah, started racing when I was 8 years old and racing juniors, and then raced those till I was 16 years old, and then I got in a big car. It was actually a high school car that my dad helped the teacher get started in the program. So when the program quit, he actually gave the car to us, and it was a 1979 Monte Carlo that I ran in pro for the longest time. Won a track championship in Vegas, multiple bracket races at Chris Forsyth's race, one up in Salt Lake, and then from there got into my dad's dragster, started racing super comp, and been doing national and divisionals ever since.
That is amazing. That's how it goes, folks. That's the story of drag racers right there. Like a little help from a friend, family operation, jump in dad's car. The rest is history. He's got to be pretty happy.
Oh yeah, he is. He won Division 7 in super comp this year too, so it was a good year.
Wow. The father-son championship season, Division 7, and the world in Right Trailers top dragster. Not an easy category. Very fast bracket racing. What I always marvel about, you might hear me when I announce, it's like you're far from the finish line when you have to make the decision whether or not you're getting there.
Yeah, you got to make up your mind quick, because before you know it, you're on top of the finish line, and when you're that far down there, you can't do much if it's too late.
That's amazing. No, it's amazing. All right, so let's start off. Tell the story of your championship season. Like, walk us through the ups and the downs and the emotions. I can tell you that it's my opinion. You probably hope that every race is in Vegas from now on.
Yes.
Vegas is the only track.
Absolutely, I would love that. Yeah, we started the season in Phoenix, and me, my dad, and my brother were all there racing, and it was a good weekend. All three of us made it to the third round in both races. It was a double. My dad lost fifth round both races. I believe I lost fourth and third round, and then my brother lost fourth and third round in super comp. So it was a good start. And then we went to Pomona and Phoenix, back for the national in Phoenix. And I didn't have much luck there. I think I lost first round in Pomona and second round in Phoenix. And then the magical week of Vegas happened, and this is why I want every race in Vegas. Pomona got rained out, and they finished that race up the Wednesday of the doubleheader in Vegas, and my brother won super comp in Pomona, but it was in Vegas. And then I won the divisional that Friday night, the next night, and then my dad won Sunday in super comp as well. So all three of us got wins that one week. And then
wow.
I skipped a race, but I won the 4-wide race in Vegas too. So it was 11 straight round wins, I believe, for me.
Let's just take a second. For most people out there, winning is not easy. It's very, very hard winning anything. Well, you had not won anything prior to this season, right? Like, you hadn't won anything. What was
Yeah.
different this year, Cody? Why did this happen?
I don't know. I had more confidence, I think, in myself. I was hitting the tree a lot better this year than I have. And, I went in with the mindset of just having fun. No matter what happens, there's a cold beverage waiting at the motorhome, so that's kind of the whole reason. Like, just go there to have fun, and whatever else happens, happens.
Wow. Well, that's good though. That's it's all mental, right? The
Yeah,
sport, it's
exactly.
physical. You got to prepare the car. The car's got to be right. Everything's got to be
Mhm.
right. You can't be in terrible physical shape. You got to be able to, do the things that you got to do. Move your
Right.
foot, let go of the button. But really,
Right.
it's
Yep,
it's figuring that
90% of it is up there. Yeah.
90% is half mental,
Mhm.
like
Yep.
Yogi Berra used to say. All right. So at some point, your brother says, dude, you're going to win the world really early in the season. Maybe, maybe too early. That was right after Vegas, right? Like he's feeling it already for you.
Yeah, that was Friday night after I won the final in Vegas at the divisional. I was kind of just taking it all in. I was up at the time slip booth and just looking over the time slip and looking over the Vegas lights. You can see the strip from up there, and I was just trying to take it all in. And then my niece actually likes to hand out time slips, so they actually beat me to the time slip booth. She grabbed the time slip and handed it to me, and while I was looking it over, my brother says, "Man, you're going to win the world." And this was before anybody back east had really ran a national or anything like that. And I said, "Yeah, I got a good start, but I didn't think it would hold up." And I thought somebody in the summer would get above 600, go on a crazy run like Vince Mussolino did last year or Clint Geisy. And it just kind of, the door stayed open. It stayed cracked at least, so.
Okay, let's advance the ball. Like I said, before we get, down towards the end of the season, when we're talking about clinching, were there any moments of doubt throughout the summer? Were there any issues with the car? Was there any things at home that maybe took your attention away from focusing on racing before we get to the critical end of the season?
Yeah, and I think it was a nice distraction. I decided to build a house this year, so I had that going on all summer. It was kind of a nice distraction from racing. I could kind of clear my head. As our summer break is longer than our winter break, actually, so I had a lot of time to sit back and watch the points and watch me fall further and further and further down. So going into Bakersfield, I was pretty motivated.
Ready to get back out there, ready to, get going again.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting dynamic that you have a summer break, but it's because it's 1,000,000 degrees.
Yeah. I wish there was a place to go racing during the summer, have night races or something like that. But, that it is what it is.
Exactly. So you got those couple of wins in Vegas and the strip at the divisional, and then out there in Bakersfield, final round. So there you go, adding to the total again.
Yeah. Bakersfield was a double, and I was actually battling Bradley Johnson for the division. Going into Bakersfield, he only had one race, or two races, my bad. And it was a win and a semi, I think. So he was in good shape for the division. And I had an early round, I think it was second round loss. And of course, Bradley goes on to win the race. So right there, I kind of wrote myself off for the national championship, and I figured Bradley was going to go on a run. So I was kind of like, any sort of championships kind of out of the window now. So, but then
go ahead.
Then Sunday, found myself in another final round and couldn't turn on the win light, but it was a good points day.
Right. Like those runners ups, those adding to the total. And that's, you
Yeah.
know, you don't have to win all the races. You got a couple of wins on the board, but man,
Right.
wins in final rounds, they're going to help.
Yep.
And so you were part of that squad that had to bonsai run from Bakersfield down to the Texas Motorplex. That was kind of interesting. We were thinking about you guys, this year they're going to have that divisional again this year, as I understand it.
Yes.
And I'll be back at the Stampede Speed. I did the full 10 days. And so we were kind of hearing about racers that they're going to try to make this run from Bakersfield down to Dallas, and you did it, and it was worth it.
Yeah, it ended up being worth it. Me and my dad were both all-stars, so it was pretty cool to do that with him. I was the last car down the track in Bakersfield Sunday night, and then luckily home was on the way to Dallas. So Sunday we drove home and then got up early Monday morning and kept going. I think we went to Amarillo, stayed the night there, and then rolled into Texas early Tuesday afternoon, I believe.
Amazing.
So,
how did you like that experience, the Jegs All-Stars and the Motorplex and Stampede of Speed and all that they did?
It was awesome. I've been to the All-Stars. I won the All-Stars in Indy in 2020. And then we went back in 21. And I got to say, we were also in Chicago for my brother. He was an All-Star in 2019. So we've been to the All-Stars at 3 different tracks, and Texas definitely is the best, I think.
Well, they're going to love hearing that. They put a lot of effort into it, right? No disrespect to anybody else, but they're
right.
trying. They're trying hard with the Jegs All-Stars. Like, they are working to make sure people who earn the opportunity say things like you just said. So Barry and Christy and Billy will be happy.
Yeah, they really make you feel special, like you accomplished something when you roll in the gates there.
Right. You got a buckle, you got a bunch of good stuff, I'm sure. And then let's go out west, Vegas, Pomona. You weren't done having success. You got a runner up out there at the divisional race, but let's focus in on, Dylan Howe, tough racer, making a bit of a run. And Mark Graham, who was the West Central divisional champ, just hung out with Mark pretty recently, and you had to make a phone call. So I want to know about the call. I want to know about, like, the moment you became champion and how it was working out that you sealed the deal, but you had to make sure Mark wasn't going. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So when we were in Dallas, I never met Mark before. I went to Dallas and I met him there, and really nice guy. And he told me there that he wasn't going to go to Pomona, but you never know when you're presented with that situation. I would go. And I actually ran Mark, I believe it was 3rd round of the national event in Dallas. And turns out that was a pivotal round. I turned the wind light on and then fell out of the car in the semis and forgot how to drive. But going to Vegas, I knew what I had to do. They didn't have top dragster at the national. So I went into the Vegas divisional. Knew I had to win 4th round to pass Dylan. And everybody kind of knew Mark wasn't going to go, but still, I was more nervous for 3rd round because I still had Pomona to claim. I was bettering a 2nd round loss in Pomona. So I knew if I won 3rd round, all I'd have to do is win 2nd round in Pomona. And the way the ladder fell, everything just fell into my wheelhouse, like, I don't know how to say it. I just had a feeling, that I was going to do it. So 4th round, I'm in the water box. And like I said earlier, I was battling Bradley Johnson for the division. And he was racing Dylan, the pair in front of me. And the way the drops worked for the division, I had to win the round that Bradley lost for me to win the division. And he lost to Dylan right in front of me 4th round. So I knew that win light was for the division and the world championship. And I had some people ask me if I was nervous for that round or anything. And I had played that round over in my head so many times that I knew exactly what I was going to do. Like, I knew I wasn't going to be nervous. I knew I wasn't going to be overly excited. I just did my normal thing. And luckily the win light turned on.
Wow. All right. So how'd you process that moment? Like, it worked out. Your bro was right. It's over. Like, they got the rest of the race to deal with, but you're going to be the champion. And that's got to be a feeling of, excitement, relief. You tell me.
Yeah, it was more relief. I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. And and also excitement. Like it's hard to not be excited, but for more, it was more relief that I wouldn't have to think about it anymore or do anything like that. I could just go back to what I was doing. So,
That's great. Then I guess you had to run Dylan later on.
yeah, I had to run him in the final round, and I was, like I said, after I won fourth round, didn't know how to let go of the button, didn't know how to do anything. So I was dead late in the semis and got away with it, and then I met it in the final against Dylan and turned it a little red.
There you go. But hey, you're the world champ, and you
Yeah.
got to go to Pechanga, and you got to experience the whole thing and come out to the finals, and which in the past you've had success, but from not winning anything in a big car to winning everything in a big car in 2024, that's a pretty tough season to top.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I will ever top this season. It's kind of funny. Before the season started, I was talking to a good friend of mine, Parker Theobald, and he was asking me what my goals were for the year. And I said, I just want to win one. I didn't care if it was a national or a divisional. I just wanted to win one. And he texted me back. He said, okay, one divisional, one national, one division championship, one national championship. I was like, man, you're out of your mind. There's no way that's going to happen. And here we are. It did happen. So
amazing. Parker gets a lot of shout outs on WFO, by the way. Like his name just keeps coming up.
Yeah. He's one of my best friends and comes from a great family. So
that's awesome.
He was in my corner all year, so, and in that fourth round, I didn't see them all because in Vegas, they have the fence beside the tower where you can watch. And I guess after I pulled into the water box, a bunch of people came out on the starting line and to watch, and when the wind light came on, my dad told me he gave so many people hugs, he broke his glasses, and his hat was on backwards and everything. It was kind of fun. I wish I was on the starting line to see it, but I'm glad I didn't see everybody walk out there and be on the starting line.
Right. The pressure, the extra.
What it just added nerves. Right.
Right. All right. So, what about, your dad's obviously happy, your brother's happy. He had a great year. Like everybody's had a great year. Like what a great year. Amazing. But those quiet moments, like I like to think about, like when you're talking about what we accomplished, that's got to be pretty cool that, you guys are able to have those conversations now with you as a champion and all. What has that been like?
It's been awesome. I consider myself the third best Webber. I don't think I'm as good as my brother and my dad, but it was just my year, and everything fell into my hands, so I can't complain.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure they're not complaining either.
No,
the biggest cheerleaders. All right, so who do you want to thank out there for helping put you over the top? And obviously, I'm finding out myself that this racing is definitely a team sport. You need people helping you out from top to bottom, or you're not even going to make it to the track. So let us hear it.
Yeah, I got to thank my family, my parents. They drove me all over the country this year, to Boise, to Dallas, everywhere. My brother, he's always there for me for support. I always ask him what he thinks I should do with the delay box and what I should dial, and he's always there to give me his opinion. Sherway Engine and Machine, my parents' business. They've built all my motors and can't complain one bit. Hughes Performance for the transmission and converter. APD for all the fuel systems. Mickey Thompson, Mike Judson, and that's about it.
Oh, I love that. That is a great job. And what about 25? What are we doing?
Hopefully going back to Dallas. I want to win a cowboy hat. I was close this year. I lost to Vince Mussolino in the final round of the All-Stars, and of course a semifinal there. But I want to win a cowboy hat and go back to back and nationally. So of course, but yeah, that's the goal.
All right. I was speaking with Justin Ashley recently, and he's got a they're hanging on the wall, man. You can see they're
Right.
multiplying. They're multiplying. Anything you want to say about Top Dragster to the race fans out there? I like to think that all of our Lucas categories and Right Trailers categories, there could be more fans in the stands if they just knew a little bit more. My goodness, your car is so fast. Your car is faster than, the first cars that I saw Snake run at the Gator Nationals, right? Like, it's just a different era. What would you say to people who maybe, don't get it, but we want them to?
It's a cool class. Like, there's multiple different power adders, nitrous, pro-chargers, roots blowers, turbochargers, twin turbochargers. It's just a very cool class. There's a lot of different combinations. You even have a few altereds in there. So it's just, I love it. It's pretty cool. And you're going really fast. So
yeah. How fast do you go? Like, you're a 220 mile an hour car, right?
Yeah. We've kind of done some testing and seen how fast the car could go. And I think it can be a 610 player at certain tracks, but we kind of just tune it down and go 640s, 650s. So there's a lot more money to go 610 than 650. So
right. And you damage stuff, a lot more maintenance.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why do it if you don't need it? You're world champ as it is.
Exactly.
Am I to understand that you are not just on WFO, but you occasionally check out the show?
Oh yeah. I'll listen every week.
That's great.
Awesome. I love it.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. It means if we can entertain you, a world champion racer, that we're doing the right thing, or at least we're getting close. Absolutely. Cody, congratulations on your championship. Good luck in your title defense. Thanks for spending time with us here on WFO Radio, part of the Parade of Champions. Good luck again in 2025.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Cody Webber, your Right Trailers Top Dragster world champion, with us here on WFO Radio. The Parade of Champions continues. We'll be back after this. That's right, Cody Webber with us here on WFO Radio. Just want to let you know about the people who make it possible for me to go WFO. That's right, chasing racers around all day long, but coming up with some great content and learning about what they're doing behind the scenes. It is really amazing. And the people who make me able to do it, folks like Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School and their Dragster Adventure, folks like Marvin Rodak and Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com, 817-924-6821. Foggett, the spray you get at Summit Racing Equipment, invented by Gary Stinnett. Steve Williams is part of the team as well. Keeps the inside of your racing engine protected after you've finished racing it. Because what happens is condensation forms, and that causes corrosion inside your racing engine, even if everything is perfect. So get yourself a can of Foggett and learn. Bernie's Speed Shop, BURNYZZ. That's Bernie's.com. They're looking for inventory for their Ocala showroom. They're spreading nationwide. Bernie's.com, BURNYZZ. HusseyPerformance.net. Not just copperhead gaskets anymore. They make oil pan gaskets, valve cover gaskets, any gaskets you need. The folks at Hussey have expanded, but they still do the copper head gaskets that you know and love. Go to HusseyPerformance.net or call David Allen, 724-318-8292. That's his personal cell phone number. He's giving it out on WFO Radio. He wants the business. If you haven't done business with those guys at Hussey Performance, try them out. We've got the exhaust gaskets on Project Pontiac. Very cool. CWT Industries. This is Randy Neal's company. CWTindustries.com. Balance machines for machine shops. Give Randy a call. CWT Industries. If it rotates, it can be balanced. And if you haven't seen their balance machines, just do a quick YouTube search and you'll see some of the great videos that we've got out there about how easy, touchscreen, easy to teach, easy to learn, and they're highly accurate, great machines for a better overall product. FTI Performance Transmissions and Torque Converters, Paul Lee Company, based in DeLand, Florida, doing converters, transmissions, power glides for monster trucks, mega trucks, top sportsman, top dragster, pro mod, whatever you need, they do it. And now they're available nationwide. FTIperformance.com. Plus our great friends at Total Seal Piston Rings and Jesse Converters, the DPF X-Fit brand, Eric Latino, Matt Latino, and the family for your particulate filters. For your over-the-road diesels, direct OE replacement. Everything is in absolutely the right place. Go to DPF XFit by Jesse or jesseconverters.com. And don't forget to check out Hidden horsepower, hidden horsepower on the Apple Podcast, Spotify. So happy to hear that Cody is actually a WFO listener. That is kind of cool. The Parade of Champions is rolling on. We're going to catch up with them all. We love putting this in the archive. And I know there are a lot of people that love this segment. And there are a lot of people that don't know and understand fully Lucas Oil Series racing. One thing you don't need to know the racing to understand is how dedicated the families are and how passionate they are about their sport. So the next time you go to an NHRA national event, get there a little early. Spend a little time in the Lucas Oil pits. Go meet Cody. Go find some of our champion drivers. And now you know a little bit about them. Talk to them. Then go down to the top end of the racetrack and watch them race. That's the best place to get it done. We certainly appreciate all of our Lucas Oil Series racers, and we wish everybody the best of luck. If you're new to WFO Radio, Apple Podcast, Spotify, SoundCloud, X, YouTube, you can get the show anywhere. Facebook, you can get the show in all of those places, or WFOradio.com. Really appreciate everyone. If you enjoy the show, maybe pick up some merch. Certainly love seeing the fans out there wearing the WFO gear, working hard to get Project Pontiac on the track ASAP. WFO Radio. Hit that archive. Thanks to Cody. Congratulations, WFO.